Good morning and welcome to Inside Jacksonville, a production of the UNF Department of Communication and CW17. I'm Melody Hopkins.
And I'm Andrew Pt.One. We're here each month with stories about life on the First Coast.
On the agenda for today, something we can't do without, food.
Where we get it, what it means to us, and how we take care of those who don't have any.
First, who serves it to us? Our first stop today is a little place on the west side. The food's good, but what makes it special are the people who run the place. Arden's Cafe and Catering is a small-town restaurant known for its home-style country buffet. But it's not just a restaurant, it's a second chance, a place for people to start over.
I would think after my 9th DUI, when I went to jail, I was at my low bottom there. I didn't want to live anymore.
Arden Desassour owns this place. She knows about second chances. She's a recovering alcoholic.
I knew I was a good person and I had a good heart, but I could not, my way just wasn't working anymore. It just wasn't working, you know, and I knew I had to get sober, and I knew I loved to cook.
Meet Michelle Weaver. She and Desassour met none other than in jail. They decided they needed to help each other get sober, vowed to put the past behind them and start fresh. When they got out, that's exactly what they did. They went into business, and that's how Arden's was born.
It's a sense of accomplishment. You know, while you're out there being an addict or an alcoholic, you have no self-worth. You know, that's why you're out there, basically. Working hard and doing the right thing and seeing the results from that is the accomplishment that you get from it.
With things going so well, Desassour and Weaver figured if it worked for them, they could help it work for others. Charles Bolton says it's his second chance, too. He was a crack cocaine addict and an alcoholic.
Like a 360-degree turn, you know, I'm able to live now. You know, I don't know what I was just existing before I got into this program and met people like Arden and Michelle.
Desassour and Weaver love being in the food business, but say the most important part of their recovery is the people. They've built up a crowd of regulars. When I was there, they seemed to know everyone that came in. Rosemary Edwards is one of those longtime regulars.
Oh, the food is out of this world, and it's always good, always good. They're two very nice people, and I think they work very hard to please the customers.
Desassour and Weaver are grateful for their second chance, grateful to be able to give others second chances. And as tough as it was, they're grateful for all their experiences, both good and bad.
I wouldn't change anything in my life, though. If I had to do it all over again, I would have kept everything the same, because I wouldn't be the person I am today had it not been for what I went through. So I'm okay with it.
Desassour and Weaver have both been clean and sober for nearly a dozen years now. Knowing how tough second chances are, they're glad to use the restaurant to help others turn their lives around too.
Do the customers know the background of all the people there?
They do. They're actually very open with their customers, and they tell them all about their history, and I mean, their customers love them. They're great people, and it's probably why they keep coming back.
Awesome, sounds good.
What's the best cooking in the world, Andrew?
That would have to be Mom's home cooking.
Well, I mean, you know, she learned it from her mom, who learned it from her mom. It's kind of how it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. The food from our childhood keeps us connected to our roots, whether it's Palaca or Palermo, Pensacola or Patagonia. Sylvie McCarthy says that connection is especially important when those roots are far away.
Rebecca Roman is cooking a family favorite. Americans would simply call it chicken and rice, but Roman's family calls it arroz con pollo. Roman's family is originally from Puerto Rico. Her dad came to the United States in the 70s. Roman says her entire family was influential in teaching her how to cook.
She cooked a lot. My dad cooked a lot. My mom taught me, and my grandparents taught me how to cook.
These days, cooking for her family reminds Roman of the way things used to be. Veronica is Roman's 7-year-old daughter. She loves her mom's Puerto Rican cooking, and even more, she loves helping her mom in the kitchen. Dinner time is her favorite part of the day.
We get to have a family time together.
At the end of the day, the Spanish food of Romans culture definitely brings this family together.
Just coming up with ideas. What are we going to cook tonight? What can we cook tonight? What's fun, you know? So yeah, food's always fun here.
Carmen Russell's family is from Puerto Rico too. Actually, Russell grew up there.
I came to the United States when I was 22 years old. It's nice. I went to school. I went to college. I learned how to speak English with the university I was going to.
When Russell was growing up, cooking was a family affair. Her mom, her grandmother, and even her uncles all cooked big family meals. When Russell got married, she moved to the United States and realized all the cooking was now up to her.
I was married. I moved to the United States. For the first time, I was in front of a stove and I didn't know what to do. So I called my grandmother and she taught me, step by step, everything that I was supposed to do.
Along with learning how to cook traditional Spanish food, Russell has also combined her family traditions with her husband's traditions.
My husband is from the United States, so we have different type of foods. We have soul food and we have a Spanish food. So we have learned both, and I did learn how to cook collard greens and cornbread and string beans.
Russell's Spanish background is very important to her, and even though her family lives in America now, the things she learned growing up are still very much a part of her life. It's not just the type of food that connects Russell to her roots. It's also the attitude towards food and family.
We love to cook for our family. We have to have family dinners together. And whoever comes through the door, we always invite them to sit down and eat. So my grandmother used to always say, never cook exactly what did you have in your home, just cook more. So whoever comes in through the door should have a plate to give.
And whoever walks through the door should expect a big plate of family love. Sylvia McCarthy, Inside Jacksonville.
So watching Sylvie's story, you get the sense that the food may be different, but some traditions are probably shared by many cultures.
Well, this is true, but one thing common to all cultures is people without food. Kaylee Norton's here in the studio with more. Kaylee?
The World Hunger Education Service estimates that more than 17 million households in America were what it called food insecure. Many of those households were blindsided by the Great Recession. That includes people in Jacksonville, even in parts of town that are seen as fairly stable. The Mandarin Food Bank has been helping people get through hard times for more than 20 years. The food bank provides a week's worth of food for families and some toiletries. Bonnie McNulty has been there since day one.
Well, I can tell you that with the economy over the past few years, we have dramatically seen our client numbers rise. Last year, we assisted 21,000 people.
It's not just the number of people that's surprising. It's the type of people. When the Great Recession hit, people who used to donate food are now needing help themselves.
We don't see a lot of homeless people here. We see families, mostly nuclear families. Our next group would be single-parent families, but they're hurting, and we try to help them to find a way to not lose their house.
The Mandarin Food Bank gets donations from individuals and from companies. Whole Foods is one donor. Adrian Cartagena says the store tries to send as much fresh produce as possible.
Whether that be through job loss or maybe investments are shrinking. And I think that a lot of people that have felt that they've done the right things all of their lives, they've saved, they've stayed with certain companies for a certain amount of time, and suddenly they're finding themselves in these positions where they need a little bit of help.
Donations from companies, community organizations, and individuals all help people in need make it from one day to the next, at least until they're back on their feet and ready to make their donations themselves. Back to you, Andrew and Melody.
So Kaylee, the numbers say the economy is bouncing back and more people are finding work. Does that mean fewer people going to the food bank?
Well, not necessarily. What you have to remember is that these people have been out of work for a very long time, and whatever savings that they had, they've probably already gone through and then some, so they're still in the need of assistance. We've actually seen the numbers rise from year to year. Back to you guys.
Tough times can hit anyone at any time. Ahead, I'll have the story of a Northside landmark that bounced back.
Danielle Day joins us with a look at what to do when we eat too well and need to drop a few pounds.
And later, Margie Castro takes us to a local bakery with some delicious treats that you might think twice about trying.